Have a great day.
WA Ghostwriter.
WA Ghostwriter.
WA Ghostwriter.
WA Ghostwriter.
WA Ghostwriter.
WA Ghostwriter.
For 720 days, 4 entire years, this place has been their life. A safe, comfortable school, for most at least, in a safe, comfortable town. Now they're getting ready to move on, to see what they can do in the world. These are the stories of 15 seniors as they near graduation from Westford Academy. This is a notable moment in time for each of them, and maybe for all of us too. Looking back, the past 12 years have gone fast. Too fast for some, maybe not fast enough for others, but for all, graduation is really just the beginning, the starting line, and ready or not, they're all getting to start.
Roberto, what's your passion?
My passion. Alright, my junior year, I started getting really into clothing and this really, this culture of skateboarding and just this streetwear, which is clothing line type stuff. And so a couple musicians that I had really been into for a couple years, they just started up a clothing line and it really took off and it started doing well. And so I started thinking, I want to do something cool. I want to leave my mark on this earth. And what better way to do it than start a clothing line? So I started a clothing line. It's called Spinning Image. I started it, I'd say, about halfway through my junior year. I was in Spanish class with Miss Rasage. I was the only junior in that class. I think it was me and a bunch of other freshmen. But I had this one group back there. It was me and a couple kids at a table. I remember pitching the idea to them, and I was like, what'd you guys say if I started a clothing line? And they're like, it's a pretty funny idea. It's kind of out there. I've never heard of any teenager trying to start making clothes. Go for it. So I did. Came up with the name, came up with the logo, saved up some money, quit my job after that. And it's been going really well ever since. I've been shipping across the country to California, Utah. I'm waiting until I get an order from New Zealand or something, just to say someone out there in Europe is wearing my clothes. But I know I kind of skipped a lot of the process, but after I had started everything, I realized that being your own person is the most important. So I'd say that's my passion. It's just being myself. And starting the clothing line has definitely helped bring that out in me, because the designs that I make for the clothing line are strictly from just all my thoughts put into an image. If there is a way to do it, that's what you'd see, is what's on my clothes. So I'd say that's my passion, is trying to get everyone else to realize that it's cool to be yourself, no matter who you are, and it's just just be yourself, honestly. As cheesy as it sounds, it's the truth. And I've had such a great year doing it. I am going to school for business and marketing and entrepreneurship, and I would love, if this clothing line itself took off, that'd be crazy. But my plans were that this would kind of just be not my way in, but it'll kind of show people that this isn't so if I were to come out with a new clothing line after this one, I could say, oh, well, I've already had a clothing line and I kind of know what I'm doing already. So it's not I would just be jumping into some, because I don't know how serious this could be, because I don't know, I'm a high school kid. It's crazy, even when I think of it from this perspective, it's where could I take this? I don't know how big it could get. And I think it just comes down to meeting the right people, maybe. So if those people are put before me when I grow up and in the future, then absolutely I'm going to take advantage of that and try and be doing this for the rest of my life. Because right now I'm just so fun, it doesn't even feel like work. And people always say is this your job right now? It doesn't really feel like it, but I guess you could say it is, because I quit my job after starting it and I've been able to support myself off of it. So it's kind of a start. It's cool. Definitely like to continue it.
Where are you going to school?
So I got accepted to Castleton University a couple months back, and I didn't end up hearing back from schools like for a couple weeks, and so I was just kind of getting worried. I was like, oh, Castleton, like the only one they like. It's not that I got denied or anything. I just haven't heard back or anything. So I was like kind of getting like focused on Castleton, which is up near Burlington, Vermont, in Castleton, Vermont. So I was just kind of focused on like it's the only one I heard back from. So it was like, I guess I'm going to Castleton. Like I don't really know. So I started visiting. It was really nice. And then after like getting almost like attached to it, I heard back from Suffolk University, which is a business school in Boston, and that was like up in my top 3. So now to hear back from that, it was like, it's kind of like changing my perspective on what I want to do and like how I thought my college life might be. Because it's all just been like in my brain. I've only thought about what it could be like. So now I'm getting into like, so Boston might be an option, and then Southern New Hampshire I just heard back from not too long ago. So I could be going up to Southern New Hampshire, which would be cool. A couple of my friends are going there. So like, I just like completely had to change my like thought process and like what I really wanted to do. So right now I'm leaning towards Suffolk University because of the business. It's a business school, and I'll be able to definitely get more of a hands-on like business experience for the clothing line. These cool like skateboard videos, some of them made music, and they were just all like themselves. Like if you watch the videos, they're just being weird, they're just being themselves, like just completely just like crazy and stuff. And I was like, that's like how me and my friends are. Like we don't try and like, because I don't know, they're always talking about how like people are like too worried these days with like how they are on social media, or like if they look like they're like on, you know how on like if your Instagram account you have like a bunch of pictures of you and your friends like always out there, you're gonna be like, oh man, that person has so many friends, but like they could like totally be doing that on purpose to make it seem like they do. And like people's insecurities are so different with social media nowadays. They feel like they need all these likes to be like, to feel like they've actually accomplished something. They feel like they need to get all this attention for something because they just put a post out, and it's just like crazy. It's totally like changed the way people think, and just the internet's really like been a game changer. So these guys are just kind of like, you should like don't worry about any of that. Like if you don't worry about it, like let's be like worry free. You'll just be yourself, and it's like it's the easiest thing in the world is to be yourself because you don't have to change anything at all. So it's just, that's how you should like live by, I think. And I think those are good words to live by. Just as long as the easiest way to live is to be yourself.
What is your greatest fear?
Disappointing the ones who love me.
What is your idea of perfect happiness?
Perfect happiness, as long as everything in the world is okay to you.
What do you consider your greatest achievement so far?
I don't want to say the clothing line and starting a business, but more of realizing probably who I am pretty early on in my life, because I feel like that's something not a lot of my friends have done.
Thanks for listening to
WA Ghostwriter.
WA Ghostwriter.
WA Ghostwriter.